Hey, what's going on everyone? Middle of the month, you know what that means. It's our look back in the rearview mirror of what happened in the real estate market last month. I'm here with
Scott Lamborn, Equity Title of Nevada, the Beau title guy. Catch me on Instagram.
So we're so excited. This is actually our second month doing this. We had so much fun last month, we decided to do it again.
Oh yeah.
So it's
April market update with Beau title guy Scott Lamborn and Beau McDougall beat, one for 505.4.
We're in May now, so we're looking back at April 2023 and how the market was back then, right?
Oh yeah, yes.
So for those of you that missed our video last week, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks following the month end to get this data so we can present it to you.
Yes. So what happens is the county gets all the deeds, they record everything, and then that takes about 2 to 3 weeks, like he just said, to actually have that data come out and actually let us analyze said data. So that's why you'll always catch these videos a couple weeks into the following month, just because we want those numbers to actually be correct for you guys.
Absolutely. So the big number we always start with is how many units were sold in April of 2023?
Ooh, I mean, unfortunately, a lot less than in March of 2023. We saw about 1,980 homes sell. That's single family homes only. And that's in a comparison to about 2,400 homes that sold in March. So that is a big drop off. I mean, it is about 17% of a drop off. And if you compare that to last year, it's even higher of a drop off of closed sales. And that's about 34% difference there.
But let's not get scared because March, April, May of 2022, that was the bonkers market. I mean, things were going crazy. You couldn't get a house on the market by the time you had it sold, right?
Yeah. I mean, inventory levels, we were just discussing before the video, right? Inventory levels were actually at an almost all-time low. The only other month that you can compare to last February would be, you have to go all the way back to 2007. 2007 in the holy what the heck's happening time of the world. Like, nobody wants to compare it.
And that was before market went to complete, hell.
That was the total frozen. Everybody just did nothing because nobody knew what to do. You know, the mortgage banks were collapsing. It was absolute mayhem. I was just graduating high school, but you know, I've done some research, and from what I hear, it was pretty wild.
But we shouldn't let that scare people, right? From what happened 2007, which was the end all be all, you couldn't find a house, to the next couple years. Craziness, market's going down the drain. You could get a house for, pennies on the dollar. We're not there.
No, not even close, because values, guess what? Values actually went up month over month, which is a very nice and comforting thing to see, especially when you look at that year over year and you do see that it's down almost 10%. Yeah, it's nice and refreshing to actually see a little bit of an uptick, because I really truly believe that we are headed in that right direction, because hey, summer's hot, summer sells, like we're going to get into that in just a moment.
So what is our median price for the last month?
$430,000 for single family residences, which is only up a little over 1%. But like I said, we've been seeing that trend flat, maybe a little bit downward over the last 12 months. So seeing that uptick is really refreshing for homeowners all around.
Yeah, and we're seeing, the stalemate of the end of 2022 has definitely turned around, and we're seeing the buyers come back in the market. Rates have not normalized. They've
I feel like we've adjusted to rates, the consumer, it's like, okay, well, 6% is actually not as wild as we once thought. It was the 2% that was wild. And I feel like that's, a message that's actually, holding true, and people are understanding that these days.
But we're also not getting every week, we're getting these huge variations of half a point up, half a point down, quarter point up. Like we're kind of just, we're neutral now. We're cruising, and people can kind of expect what their rate's going to be from the time they get pre-qualified to the time they're under contract.
Yes.
Which is a huge thing. So new listings on the market. Obviously we talked about 07, the smallest inventory we've had since data was basically being kept,
that
right?
I can track, yes. Yeah.
So how many new listings did we get in the month of April?
New listings, we had just about 2,500 new listings, in the month of April, which is nice and refreshing. It's still a little bit less than what we saw in March. That's pretty normal. March is the first month of spike of new listings that we see every year. It's the summer, people are getting excited. Nobody lists their home in January and February typically. March is usually, the first spike. And then we always see a little bit of a downtick in April. And then May and June, we really see the new listings number jump up each and every year. It's consistent across the board with seeing that jump.
Well, and that's probably gonna be because kids are out of school. It's a good time to make the move, find your new home, move out of state, wherever it's gonna be. So May and June, those numbers are gonna be really interesting to see how we really have recovered, right?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing next month's video to really, see where these percentages are gonna land.
So, we talk about availability all the time. We've talked about it a few times today and how many homes on the market. But when you look at availability, it's really hard with the amount of people that are moving here to really correlate that with how many units are available, right? 07 today, it's vastly different in our value of how many people we have moving here, living here, working here. So I believe the better metric is months of supply.
Yeah.
Can you explain months of supply a little bit more for people?
So months of supply is saying, okay, so say we have 5,000 homes on the market, but we also close 5,000 homes every year. Well, that's gonna even out and have 0 homes left in the market every month. So that's gonna be the 0. So that is where we're gonna trend. So whenever you see 2 months on market, which we're currently at 1.9 months of inventory, it means that if there's 5,000 homes on the market, we're doing about 3,000, a little bit more than that transaction, leaving about 2 months left of homes available to the consumer. And I hope that that translated decent for you.
In a normal transaction base in time.
Yes, yes.
So, once again, we always talk about the craziness of early 2022. We're up 132% on inventory stats.
Everybody's talking about there's no inventory, and when you hear that number, it's almost laughable because of all the, you know, the talk, all the chatter about there's no inventory out there. When last summer, last April, that was the chatter that I think I was more in tune with. And right now, there are opportunities. You know, I have investors loving life. I have regular homeowners selling, cashing in that 100+ grand of equity. I mean, hey, we're not selling our home every 2 years anymore because we're up 130 grand. That was wild. That was not something that we were ever used to. You know, like the $20,000 to $30,000 increases each year, you know, 5% is a pretty normal market. It's a great thing. I love making 5% on my home, 30 grand sleeping in my house every year. All I have to do is vacuum and take care of it, you know? Sounds like a good trade-off to me.
No, absolutely. And I think the good news is the numbers even month to month have gotten better. They're not 132, but 7.5% going into month to month of that inventory going into the buying and selling season is really good for the consumer on both sides.
Yeah, totally. And to go back to the months of availability, so 3 months would be about the standard, you know, like normal set of markets. So yeah, we're a little bit towards the seller's market.
We're a little lean, someone might say.
Yeah, a little bit lean towards the seller's market, which is great because guess what? Everybody has equity if they bought 2, 3, 4 years ago. The normal amount of time of somebody living in the house based on just, you know, past data is 4 to 7 years. Hey, if you bought your home 4 years ago, I guarantee you have $100,000 of equity. I bought my home 7 years ago, which is crazy to think about, and my home has doubled in value since that time frame. So there is still a lot of opportunity for us homeowners, you know, to really make a move.
Yeah. So I think that's a really good recap of what happened in April. I'm excited to see what happens as we go into this normalization of markets, as we go into the buying and selling season. Will you join me next month for another round of this?
I love it. And guess what else we're going to have? The Stanley Cup trophy, baby. Let's go Knights.
That's right. We're off to the Western Championship, right?
Oh, yeah, baby.
So,
Yep.
Go Knights, go, and we'll see you next month.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.